Good evening, everyone. We thank you for tuning in to segment 5, which is Entrepreneurship of our Little Leaders Career Exploration Series. My name is Nikki Anthony. I am the founder of Little Hands, Big Hearts, Little People Service Organization, and it is with great joy and great pride that I do come to you to present this segment of our series. Before we get started, I want to introduce I want to give her the opportunity to introduce herself, my co-host, little Miss co-host for the evening, and that is Ashley. Ashley, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ashley. I am 10 years old and I'm in the fourth grade. I aspire to be an aerospace engineer and a professional tennis player.
All right, you go, girl. And I just
Good
believe
job,
she can
Ashley.
do all of that. All of that. Okay. So excited. I did post when we did the post for her. I said, Dr. Mae Jemison better watch out. Dr. Mae Jemison was one of my heroes in first grade, but she better watch out because Ashley's coming up through the ranks in that science. Go, girl. All right. Ash, do you want to go ahead and read our mission statement?
The mission of the mission of Little Hands, Big Hearts People Service Organization is to develop little people into servant leaders who think beyond themselves for the greater good through explicit and intentional opportunities for character development, selfless service to others, and community-based volunteering.
Good job. Thank you for reading that for me. So she shared our mission statement. And basically, what we do is develop little people and not so little people, their parents as well, into servant leaders. And we just really, um, our heart is preparing the future leaders that will lead our country. So that's a little bit about what we do. The purpose of this series is pre-exposure. I share every segment. I am an educator by profession. And one of the things that helps to develop people, little people, not so little people, students, is exposure. That's one of the greatest ways that you can learn. So we are providing a learning opportunity for students, for children, excuse me, and their parents, because a lot of times, parents may not know different career paths that their child can be exposed to. You know, a lot of times we wait until high school to begin preparing for what we're going to do next. And we want to be intentional even now about preparing our little people for what they are called to do in the future. All right. So that is the purpose of this. I would like for our panelists to introduce themselves. We'll start with Alfreda, and then we'll go to Brianna, and then we'll go to Natasha, and then we'll go to Trey and Natalie Sheppard.
Well, good afternoon, all. My name is Alfreda Boney. I am the founder of Perfectly Suited Career Consulting. We support nonprofit organizations, small business, and entrepreneurs with career and professional development training, certification programs, as well as business development here in Jacksonville, Florida, and Southeast Florida.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brianna Patterson. I'm a school counselor by day, but by night I am the owner of River City Picnics. It's a luxury picnic company in Jacksonville, Florida, and we basically set up pop-up picnics around the city for those who are interested.
Hello, my name is Natasha Jones. I am the owner of Glamour Gourmet. It is a premier dessert company. We service all throughout Florida for any occasions, birthdays, weddings, and no occasion at all. Yeah, that's it.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sheppard.
And
this
Trey.
is Trey.
I am 30 years old. I go to Trey Middle School. I am in 7th grade.
All right. And I'm Natalie, of course, and I'm an educator and program director for almost 30 years now. And I'm with Communities and Schools of Jacksonville. We're a nonprofit organization that supports children and families through educational and enrichment activities. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And with that, I want to start the segment off with allowing Trey and Natalie to share a little bit about Trey's entrepreneurial venture at this point. Like he said, he is in the 7th grade, but Trey recently did something really awesome. I believe it was maybe last April or so, April or May. And I want him to share about it. He is an entrepreneur at age 13, and I think he'll be 14 pretty soon. But I want him to share a little bit about his entrepreneurial venture. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Well, Trey is a published author, and you want to tell them the title of your book?
My title of the book is The Day My World Changed, Helping Children to Understand COVID-19.
And show them the cover. Turn around. And yes, Miss Nikki, you are correct. This entire process started at the end of last school year when our world suddenly changed. Unlike anything we've ever experienced before.
Wash your hands.
Right. Wait a minute. Wait.
20 seconds.
So Trey he's gone before me, but he wants to tell you how to stay safe. You want to go ahead and tell him that?
Ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Stay 6 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
Wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Wear shields.
Mm-hmm.
Keep safe.
That's right.
Stay safe.
I love it. Yes. And so it all started because when everything changed, just like with all of us, even adults, it was hard. It was very difficult. Everything just stopped. And Trey was diagnosed with autism when he was 3 years old. And he has been working so hard for over 10 years. Just soaring above anything anyone expected. And it's by the grace of God. And I give him all the praise and all the honor and all the glory for everything he's done for our child. When he was diagnosed, we were told about all these nevers that he wouldn't do. He may never read. He may never write. He may never communicate the way we would like for him to communicate. And I took all of that. God gives doctors and nurses and psychologists and clinicians all knowledge. And we took all of that and we just told our baby, he's going to crash every never he wants to crash. So we were told that he had to work hard, and we knew that. Trey he's been an honor student since he's been in school. He is what sports do you play?
Football and basketball.
Football and basketball, and you're on what team?
That's red team.
Yes, and aren't you on the swim team?
Yes, ma'am.
He's on a swim team. He's a pianist, and learning how to play the piano. One of his music teachers calls him her little John Legend. So many things that we were told he could not do. He's crashing those things.
Yes.
We are very grateful. But when everything stopped, he had a hard time. And I saw a lot of anxiety and things coming back that he worked so hard to get through. And I knew that we had to act immediately. So his communication, it was difficult for him to actually express how he felt. So we started journal writing. And every day in virtual school, we just included that as a part of our daily schedule. And that was such an amazing tool. As an educator, I am a believer of journaling. And children will write things down that they will never speak to you verbally. And I just am a believer of that. And it worked with our Trey. And every day I knew how he was feeling. He followed the news more than me. He was telling me information before I could even see it on the news. And so for him to express it in his journal writing, I said, well, my goodness, if our baby is having a hard time and he has to work through this, certainly. And I started thinking about all of my students. I could not rest until we did something more. Because I was thinking, is anyone at home talking to my students like I'm talking to my baby? Is anyone letting them express their feelings? Is anyone allowing them to just explain what's going on in their little minds. And that's how the book came about. And God just blessed us.
That is
Man,
excellent. 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 And I think it's so, one of the things in education is when a peer helps a peer. That's another tool for students to learn who may be struggling. And Trey, even, with autism, he is taking trauma, he's processing it with help, with support, and then he's helping other young people, other little people to process a trauma, because we are all in the middle of this together, right? And there are kids, like you said, that don't have that outlet, but for him to take his feelings and to put them into a journal, and then that turns into a book, and he is like reaching out across the United States. So don't think this is just local. Like, I done seen Atlanta, I've seen Chicago, I've seen all over Florida. I mean, his book is circulating. I'm so proud. They always tell me I'm a part of their family. Nikki,
Yes.
she has 2 sisters.
You
So
are
I'm
part
almost
of Team Trey.
I am Team Trey. And I'm so proud of him. I always see the post and I'm like, oh my God, this is what we love. This is what we want, in our little people, to take, small moments and we turn them into something super huge that doesn't just impact us, it impacts everyone that's connected to us. So thank you so much for sharing. I'm proud. I feel like a proud
Is it
auntie.
okay
I'm
if he
everybody's
reads
auntie.
a page to you?
It's perfectly fine. Yes.
Well, thank you. I may let him read too, if that's okay. But during his time home, we had to come up with some pandemic activities. And he always tells me that this is his favorite page because it shows him doing one of his favorite activities. So this one, buddy, I'll read this page, okay? And you read that one, okay?
Okay.
I miss going to school and seeing all of my friends too, but I enjoyed learning at home and discovered exciting things to do.
I completed schoolwork, rode my motorcycle, and read the mail in virtual school. Being at home was fun for me, safe and play cool.
Safe and what?
Safe and pretty cool.
Pretty cool. So that's his favorite page. I don't know if you can see it, okay? That's his favorite page and one of his favorite activities to do because he could do it safely during this time at home. And then another page I want him to read is the last page of our book, just encouraging everyone. You ready?
I'm ready. Today, if you feel worried, do what my mom and dad taught me. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, count to 10, and think of something that makes you smile. Remember those who love you. We will all get through this together, even if it takes a while.
And that's what Trey really wants to express to every child across the world. When we were going through this process, I heard that Trey's book will reach children and families across the world. And right now we're in 40 states in the nation, and I know that we will continue. So thank you, everybody. Everyone, please stay safe. And just stay happy.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so proud.
Bye.
Thank you, Trey. Okay, bye, buddy. We won't hold you any longer. Time is up. I understand. I love you, Nikki. I love you, Trey. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will link her information, Trey's information, for his book, which can be found on Amazon and via Facebook. We'll get all the book information in the comments. So if you want to purchase, what you should want to purchase for yourself or a little person in your life to help them understand what's going on a little bit better, and some self-calming strategies. That's what was offered at the end. I love that. Oh
Absolutely.
My gosh.
Can we just say thank you so much, Miss Nikki, again for inviting us. I just love your Little Leaders organization, and this exploration of career series is just amazing. And thank you for your hard work with our babies and helping them not just to be successful, but be pillars of their community. So
Yes,
thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. All right. So we're sorry, I can't even get my bearings. We're gonna continue on tonight. And Ashley, I want you to jump in with the first question, okay?
Okay. What communication skills are required to effectively function as an entrepreneur?
Very good. So, what communication skills are important to you all as entrepreneurs in gaining business from potential customers, from previous customers, retaining them? What are some important communication skills that you feel a successful entrepreneur should possess? Anybody could jump in. I won't call y'all out.
Okay. Well, I'll go. I guess communication skill. The first thing you should always have some kindness. You should have an extensive vocabulary because you want to be able to articulate your words and feelings to your client if you are in a selling field like I am. You know, you want to be able to communicate with people and make sure that you can understand what they are trying to gain from you as well. So if you can put some effort into your vocabulary so that you can, understand completely, because a lot of people can't articulate what it is that they really want from you. So I find myself sometimes getting frustrated because I don't know what they want, but I try to, stay kind and calm, to pull it out of them. So that's one that I would say you should have. Definitely some kindness and good words in your vocabulary.
Thank you.
I will team behind her because listening skills are critical. We are sometimes as business owners, we're so quick to tell people what we have, but if they don't need it, it won't even matter, right? So we have to really listen to them and find out what their problem or issue is, and then be able to fit what we have into that dynamic. So that means they will respect us and say, wow, you listen to me. Even in regular life, people love to be listened to and not just talk that. I think that's a really good communication skill to have.
I agree.
I agree with both ladies. I would add empathy also. I think that what helps me with business is to always put myself in the shoes of the customer. So if I'm planning someone's birthday, I think about how would I like this event to feel if it was for me, or what would I like to walk up to, or if I'm planning a romantic, if my husband was to plan something like this for me, how would I like to, what would I like to experience? And then I try to give that to my client so that they're happy and they're ecstatic as I was on the receiving end of the service.
That's good. That's really good. So empathy, we heard kindness, and piggybacking on kindness. I kind of want to segue into the next question with what character traits do you think are necessary? So we kind of shared it already, but what other character traits are necessary for successful entrepreneurs?
Integrity would be one. People do business with who they like, they trust, and they know a lot of times. So you have to make sure that you are always on your best behavior, no matter what. Because you go a long way. It can be harmful and it can be helpful. So definitely, I think integrity is a must.
Oh, that's a big one, because we have a lot of unscrupulous business people. We really do. I'm sure, if you're a little person, you might not know what unscrupulous is, but just ask your parent, when they've done bad business with someone, somebody who tries to take more money than they should, or somebody who gives you a bad service or product. And it's like, no, I don't want to do business with someone without integrity, so that is a very big one. And I want to just kind of throw in that integrity starts now. Before you hit a profession, you have to have integrity in your school life, with your schoolwork. You have to have integrity when you are in the home. If your parents have given you a task, a chore, whatever it is, you should have integrity to do whatever it is that you've been asked to do, and to do it to your best ability without trying to cut corners, unless they give you room to cut corners. Okay. So integrity is something that starts now. That is something that we do want to build in our little people, learning how to be honest and truthful in your dealings with people. All of that starts now. This is not not something that, you get 18 and then all of a sudden you learn how to have integrity. Nah, that ain't it, So everyone on this panel, I'm quite sure you had people who poured into you expectations of how you conduct yourself, how you act, all of that when you were younger. Do any of you have any early memories of people who kind of pulled on the integrity in your life, who made sure, you better handle yourself the way I told you, or, some things will not be acceptable. Do you have anyone that you want to share?
Yes. Of course, my mother, she always had a strong work ethic. Pretty much all my life, she led by example. And of course, if I started to veer off the path of the integrity and doing what I know was best or right, just making sometimes careless mistakes, she would just try her best to lovingly correct me, but at the same time be stern and let me know that you can't just do what you want to do. Sometimes you have to do what's best or what's right. And I try to imply that throughout my life, and even as a child through adulthood, and just make sure that I'm trying to be the best version of myself so that I don't have to, always right my wrongs. So yeah, my mom was definitely the great influence of that. She led by example.
Anyone else?
I can agree with that. My mom always said, what you do when no one else is watching.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can get away with something and you not to, and you do the right thing, that's how you know that you're full of integrity. And so I think about that all the time. Even as an adult, what am I doing? I always want to act in a way that if I found out, I wouldn't be ashamed of my actions. So that's something that I would teach the younger people. You shouldn't do anything that you would be ashamed of if someone else were to find out that you were doing it. That's how you have integrity.
That's good. That is so
Like
good.
that.
And we're not asking, for children to be perfect. There's a word, a scripture that says folly is in the heart of a child. Like, children are going to be children, but it takes adults and positive adults in their lives to steer them in the direction that they should go. So we're not asking, you never make a mistake. Adults always make mistakes. Don't let any adult tell you that we don't make mistakes. I make plenty of them day to day, but it's how you rebound from them. How do you learn from it, So thank you, Bree, for sharing that. Thank you very much. Alfreda, do you have an adult that was an influence in your life that you want to share?
Well, like my parents are gone now, but coming from the country living, like that's all you knew. If not, something might come across the airways and tear you up. So it was just like, we were raised by so many family members. So it was not just the parents, it was the neighbor down the street. If they saw you, they were definitely gonna check you and tell everybody that what you did, So I think that, it takes, like I said, it takes a village to raise, and that's what we got to get back to, the basics. So yeah, just thinking about all of the forefathers in in our families and things that we just learn by example, and that's what these children are going to do. They're going to pay attention more than they listen. They're going to watch action. So they say, do as I say, do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
We got to get back to making sure that what we're doing is lining up to what we're saying as well.
True.
That's good. Ashley, do you have anybody that kind of helps you to walk in integrity or learn integrity? I'm sure probably your mom. Her mom is really awesome. I met her dad briefly, but her mom.
My mom and dad.
Your mom and dad. Safe answer. That's a good answer, though. All right. We'll move on to the next question. Ashley, you want to ask the next question? Ask the next question. Sorry.
What character traits do you think are necessary for your profession?
Okay, do another one. We just did that one.
What's one thing people knew about your profession?
What's one thing that you wish people knew about your profession?
all the time that it takes to actually create the desserts and everything, because everybody kind of just sees the finished product on my end, and they don't see me up till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, like every night. And then, just a lot of the behind the scenes work that goes into it. I mean, I know people appreciate what I do, but it's just like, I wish they knew that you can't just call me the day of talking about I want this and that and be mad when I can't fulfill that, because I'm like, baby, this is a week's worth of work, not just in this little bit of cake, but it takes time. I wish they knew that part of it. Like, there's a lot of time out of my life that goes into this, but yeah.
Natasha, talk about because she does regularly make posts, and I've learned from them where she talks about when you look at my pricing, you're not just looking at ingredients. You're looking at my time. You're looking at my expertise. You're looking at how much I have had to study my craft. You're looking at all of that. So don't think that oh, it's just a cupcake, or oh, it's just a cake with a tier or 2 tiers. You're getting a lot more than just what you see at first glance. So talk about that a little bit. And then if you ladies want to jump in, you're more than welcome to as well. Because I know people probably try you. I'm one of those people, I'll pay whatever you price your stuff as, because I realize your time is valuable, your skill is valuable, all of that. But there are a lot of people who I want to hook up, not with my stuff. No, ma'am, no, sir. So Tasha, talk about that for me.
Well, that you said most of it. Yes, I do. Prepare all of these items, and then you display it on social media, and then people just kind of want that quick. I need this now, I need that, but they don't realize that it's a process. It takes time out of my schedule. I'm also a mother, so I really have to kind of balance my time versus being a mom and then an entrepreneur. You kind of have to have that balance. And then once I do make these items and present it to the world, I just don't like when people try to shorthand me for it, because it's a lot. It's a lot to do this, and even though it is my passion, I still want to be respected for my craft. So if I present to you this price, don't try to juggle me down or make me want to not deal with you just because you're trying to haggle me, because I know my worth. So I said, if you're gonna do something and present it, and if you're the quality of your work, then you should always stand behind your product. Don't try to just make a quick dollar just because somebody wants to give you what they can afford. They're gonna have to go in their own lane, because we're gonna stay on our track. But yeah, just like Nikki said, she's one of my customers for a long time, but we've been friends forever. But she never, disrespects me. She knows that, it's a lot that goes into that. So I appreciate people like her that, like, I just need this, and she'll give me enough time ahead of time. That's the kind of client you want. Somebody that's going to respect the whole business, not just, oh, I want this, so let me get it today, and I like that. But yeah, it's a lot behind the scenes, but I'm still grateful for it though. Yeah.
That's awesome. So Bree, you talk about she provides a luxury picnic experience. So it's a little different than you and your kids going to the park and y'all got sandwiches and stuff like that. I encourage you to go to her website, go to her Facebook, her IG page, so you can see just the detail and the beauty of how she presents these experiences, because that's what they are. They are experiences, right? So talk about the same thing, just and talk about worth, like knowing how to price according to what you're worth. These are skills that entrepreneurs need. You don't have to sell yourself short, because people can't afford you. The right people will be able to afford you, so Bree, talk about that, and Alfreda, you talk about it too, please.
Okay, so that was actually going to be my talking point about finding your ideal client. So I know for my business, everyone is not my client, everyone is not my customer, and that's okay. I can't lower my price because my price is not based upon what you can afford. It's based upon what my service is valued at. The time that goes to it, the effort that goes to planning the supplies and all of those things. So if you can't afford it, that's okay. It's just not for you. And again, that's okay. So I think that sometimes we can so eager to like show our gifts and talents to the world that we will settle for not being appropriately compensated. And sometimes that can kind of take the attention out of what you're doing because you're not being paid what you're worth. But if you stay the course, your ideal client will come, will appreciate your service, and they will value your service. And I found that sometimes when you try to negotiate with people, you end up getting even less than what you negotiated for because they're not appreciative of it, and you are shortchanging yourselves in so many ways. So my experience is a luxury experience, and everyone is not interested in an upscale picnic. Some people are okay with going to Publix and getting a sub and taking a blanket, and that's fine. That's okay. I've been there too, but for me, my business came out of not being able to travel and thinking about when I go to different places, all of the experiences that I have, and wanting to recreate something like that in our city for other people who are not able to travel and do things like that. So I know when I'm going into it who my client is. I can tell by a conversation, okay, this person, they're my client, or this person is not my client. But I'm polite and I'm friendly to everyone because you never know when that might come back around. They may not be able to afford my service today, but I'm not going to treat them like they're worthless because they can't afford it today, because they're going to remember that when they do get money, and everyone wants to make sure that they're spending their dollar where they're valued. So try to remember to value every person, regardless of whether they can afford your service or not. Treat everyone with kindness and respect, and it'll all work out.
That was good. Alfreda, I'm going to change your question, actually. Okay. So Alfreda is actually a part of the Jax Chamber of Commerce, and she is one of the right hands for Dr. Carlton. I always talk about Dr. Carlton Robinson. And I want you to talk about the power of having people who mentor you in your craft. Like, how important is it to have someone who can kind of look over your shoulders, kind of give you some guidance, whether you're going the right direction or the wrong direction, how to rethink things? What's important? How important is it for entrepreneurs, young and old, to have someone in their corner as a mentor?
Okay, I love that. I'm gonna get it. So
Yeah.
me, I've said this quote since COVID-19 came, and especially in the realm of us as entrepreneurs, everyone doesn't have the gift of perspective. And what that means is that everybody doesn't see things the same way. So when you're in business, some people are considered business owners, meaning to them, they just can go by a blueprint. They don't go outside of it. They don't stray. But as entrepreneurs, we're more creatives, which means that we can look at a situation and just like Brianna said, she looked at the opportunity of not being able to travel, but decided that, hey, I can actually create an experience just like if you went to a place, and I can bring it to you. So in essence, to have people in your life like mentors to look at your situation and say, have you ever thought about it this way, is valuable and so important in our lives, because COVID literally stopped what we were so used to doing, what we considered normal, because nobody ever challenged it. And it challenged the way we had to live, how we had to interact, how we had to even do business. For me, to have mentors like Dr. Carlton and many others throughout my whole life before I even got to this place was critical, because every idea might not be a good idea. Every idea, an opportunity might not be that business opportunity. So you've got to have someone to help you to think it all the way through, because we can get excited. And I want people to tell you, you can get so excited and be like, I can help everybody. When I started my business, I was in Georgia in 2008, and I worked for the Department of Labor, and I saw a need, right? And so that's where a lot of businesses sometimes come from. Some are duplications, but then some come from just seeing a need and seeing how you can add value. But then I ended up moving to Jacksonville and starting over. And it was until I came in connection with the network and partners that, made me to look at, even what I was doing, still in the same vein, but look at it from a different perspective, because I used to think, oh, everybody wants a job. That's not always true. But now I'm supporting, different people in a different way. So now instead of trying to get them a job, guess what? I'm going to make them better by training them to get a job. So I don't have to find them a job, but I'm going to make sure they're the best they can be in presentation and knowledge. And I love what is it Nikki, what she said earlier about the expertise value that you have, because again, everybody is not made for college. Everybody won't go to college. But everything that you do, from being a little person, like, they have so many gifts and talents, even at their ages. But as you grow, then all of that knowledge and expertise, yes, you are bringing that to the table with you. So I feel like, everyone needs someone that can literally, help them, to sit back and listen to and be able to give them different perspectives of a situation so that they can make sure it's the right thing for them, because everybody's not meant to be a business owner either, right? Because it's a lot goes into it. I love what they were saying. You got the customers, the attitudes, their demands, and you got to be that person to go even past all of that, because you know that what you have is a needed commodity. So yeah, it's amazing to be connected to people who don't not trying to act like you're better than anyone. It's just, hey, I want to see you grow and I want to see you get to your next level. And in that, I say that when you help somebody else get to where they are, where they want to be, you automatically get where you need to be. So it's a win-win situation for all.
And I think what Alfreda just shared is the perfect example of servant leadership. I'm going to lead you by serving you. I'm going to lead you by helping you to get where I know and what I'm able to see you're supposed to get to. So thank you for sharing that. And parents, I just want to encourage you. A lot of times we put a lot of, I don't want to say pressure, but emphasis on having, coaches as mentors and people, we want our kids to play sports and whatnot. In every arena of your child's life, think about allowing them, obviously with safe people, but people that they can connect with, in school. Who's a school mentor that they might have? Who's someone that they connect with in school? Who's someone, if you go to church, who's someone that they can connect with, or that they already connect with in church? Who's someone they connect with, maybe at the community center? All of these people can possibly be mentors. And as children, or when you're talking about your children, you should be a part of just knowing who is in their life anyhow. You're supposed to be the eyes, checking out who's in their space in their life. But mentors should be in just different arenas, not just a coach, not just a teacher, not just a parent. I can look back on my life and yes, my parents, they encouraged me, and I'm grateful, to have had and still have strong parents that, excuse me, they held me accountable, all of that. But I also had those same people in church. There were people who saw leadership abilities in me and they called it out and they held me accountable. What do your grades look like? I've done that with kids like forever. This is, I'm in my 14th year in education, but I've been working with kids literally since I was 14. I've been getting a W-2 since I was 14, right? Through summer programs, summer jobs and all that. So just the importance of your child having mentors in different areas of their lives, having people that they connect with, having people that hold them accountable is very, very, very important. Building positive influences in their lives. All right. So thank you all for that. Ashley, you want to jump on another question, Shug?
Yes. What insights have you gained about yourself in your career advancement?
That's a good one. What insights have you all gained about yourselves as you have grown professionally? Don't all jump at once.
Okay. Well, I can say that for me, I used to be the one to always help everyone else. But I've come to realize that before I can be any good to anyone else, I really have to be good to self first. That means that I got to learn that no is a complete sentence. It means that I don't have to pour all of myself out, and then there's nobody there to refresh me or to refill me up, right? I think that sometimes as a servant leader, we know where our heart is, and that is truly to be purposeful with helping others. But you have got to be able to step back and recognize when you're overextending yourself, and making sure that they asked you for that help. Because sometimes they don't ask you for that help, and we just flood them. And then we get mad or upset. We might get upset and frustrated because it's like, well, why didn't they accept that? Why don't they give that back? And so that's something that has really been heavy on me, but it's not going to stop me from being the servant that I am, because I truly walk in that, and I know that is. And then I just look for God through. That's fine, because I recognize that I just have to do it from my heart. And if you do it from your heart, you're paid back from.
I think you froze, Alfreda, like right at the end. Yeah.
I was like,
but I did
so
hear the beginning. We heard the beginning where you shared, a little bit of the beginning. Yes.
Oh, I was just saying that, just for me, I need to be intentional of being able to restore myself and make sure that, what I'm pouring into others, I'm pouring back into myself, because some people don't ask for your help, but we're so quick to give it. And I am a true servant leader. I know that's my purpose. I have to be very mindful now, that making sure that my value, I love what the other said, that when I give value, that it's going to be received and also received.
All right. Bree or Natasha? Oh, you muted. Hold on, Tasha, you muted. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the question was insight we've learned about ourselves for our business. I think I had to learn that I had to be more patient, because I am truly just an impatient person at heart. And I had to, learn how to slow it down and take things as they come and not be so quick to react. And because I know that everybody doesn't necessarily think the way that I do. So I had to really figure out how to just be patient all across the board, because that just used to make me so annoyed with everything. Like, if it's not done how I want it, when I want it, exactly how I need it to be, then once you get frustrated, it kind of boils over into everything else. So you kind of just like, okay, I need to calm down, Tasha, and just, try to be patient with everyone, because everybody doesn't move exactly how you do. So you really just have to, adjust how you react to a lot of stuff. And I just think patience is key. That's what I've learned about myself through this. Yeah.
I feel like entrepreneurship is something that will develop your patience. I really, really do. If you don't have it, you will have it if you want a successful business. So just keep living. That's what my daddy always said. Just keep living. So, Brianna?
I think I've learned that nothing in my life has been wasted. Like, every experience has been so important, even if I didn't recognize it then. Like, I think about in college and working at Chipotle. I hated that job, but it taught me so much about interacting with difficult people and providing excellent customer service. And now I'm able to incorporate it in my business. And even as a school counselor, I'm able to take some of those skills, like being able to listen and having empathy, and use those skills in my business. So it just really affirmed for me that I'm always where I'm supposed to be. Even if I may not feel like it in that moment, I'm always where I'm supposed to be, and I'm trying to take as much as I can from every season in my life, because I never know how it's going to help in the next season.
Yeah.
That is really, really good. I love that. Nothing is wasted. A lot of times we think that, something, when we're given a task, this doesn't mean anything. It's not going to benefit me in the future. It's almost like, why do we have to take this kind of math in school? It is what it is, but somewhere along the line, you may end up seeing that again. It's the same concept. The job might seem really stupid to have right now, really, inappropriate for now, whatever the case may be. But you don't know where that skill may be pulled on later in life. So thank you for that. And parents, how would you encourage parents, to get their kids to understand, or to help their kids to understand that, there are some things that I'm asking you to do. It might not make sense now, but there's a purpose to it. There's method behind the madness, basically. That was something, that my parents instilled in me, little things like doing chores, wash the dishes. Like I said, it seems like they're just, you just picking on me, leave me alone, no. Part of chores is being responsible, it's following through, is working on time. If I told you to have the dishes done before I get home, you're learning time management, and that is so much bigger than what meets the eye, So do any of you have anything you want to share about just those insights and how to encourage parents in the seemingly meaningless, tasks that, children think they have to do or whatever? And I know Tasha and Alfreda have children. Anything you want to share?
I will definitely say that those are soft skills. And to be honest, to get a career, it's those things that really matter. I've been in the recruitment field for over almost 20 years. And so that's what started me into my business. And when parents are literally, the skills, the tasks that you're having your child do, even at this age, is what's going to help them to become independent adults. And if you do everything for them now, how do you expect them to live on their own when and if something should happen to you? I know we love our babies, but to be honest, you can only, help them to grow, because I've seen where they get 18 years old and we immediately say they're adults, but they're not. They're just of age. And being an adult has so many other issues with it. So don't make them, it's about making sure that they understand why. Because to me, it's like when you tell them to do something, tell them why you need it done versus just saying just because I said so. Because at that point, that's when you lose them. That you're talking at them and not to them. So I would encourage any parent, because I had to learn it. I got grown adults, no grandchildren. I got grown adults, and I've seen the difference in how I raise my, how I talk to my daughter, how I talk to my son, and how they interacted. So they immediately will say, "Oh gosh, why she got to get on me? Why I got to do that?" But in the long run, they will eventually be a parent, and it will come around. They will see themselves again, and they will say, "I'm glad my mom showed me that," or "I'm glad my dad told me that." Just the basic stuff in, helping them to understand, finances is critical, helping them to understand, like I said, what we're talking about, just dealing with other people, because they're going to have the same experiences. The word says there's nothing new under the sun. All of this is going to play back around. And how we teach them now is how they're going to perform when they get, become adults.
True.
That is so good. She talked about soft skills. So these are skills that are career based,
Yeah.
So you're not just telling them to do something just because you're a parent and they're a child. You are literally preparing them for their future and what you require of them or what you fail to require of them.
Right.
One of the things that I don't want to say pride myself on, but that I really, really, really push as an educator is an independent child. As an ESE educator, we have children that they have disabilities and whatnot. And so it's easy for the disability to become a crutch. It's easy for, children and even parents of children, with disabilities to kind of lean in and that always be a crutch. But some kind of how, I've been given this insight to see, you can do a lot more than what you're showing me. And that's what I'm going to pull on. So then we have to develop those soft skills. I need you to listen. I need you to tune in. I need you to get done what I said, get done, and in that we're preparing and we're building independent children. I want you to get to a point where you don't need any support. I'm okay with that. I don't need you to always need me. I want you to not need me anymore really soon, So just building those independent children, like that is so important. If you come and you have little people that they just always need you there, like, I don't know, you got to be careful with that, because when you're not there, what are they going to do? When you're not there, how can they produce anything? When you're not there, you know, what are they going to do? So we're all about building independent children. And I just want to encourage parents, you know, continue in that. If you struggle with it, link up with some parents who have done it. Don't think that you have to do it by yourself. But, you know, your baby one day, you know, someone who has lost a parent, you know, they're not going to have you forever. And I'm not wishing anybody pass away, obviously. But I mean, it is a reality. Someday they won't have you. What have you left them with when you're not there? That's one thing that my mom just kind of honed in with me and my brother. Like, she was big on education. She was big on us knowing how to handle ourselves. I mean, I can remember just before she passed away, she was telling me how to write checks and all this different stuff. I need you to learn how to handle stuff if I'm not here. So just keep that in mind. I hope I'm not bringing anybody down, but I do believe in giving real information. So take it for what it is. Okay. We have time for maybe one more question, and then I'll get you all to share where we can find you on social media. What do you have planned? If there's anyone that wants to get in contact with you, all of that. So I have one more question. I'm trying to think of a good one though. Yes, I got one. Yes. Is there any reason that you would encourage people to not go into your particular profession as an entrepreneur? So as, you know, someone who gives luxury experiences in picnicking and Glamour Gourmet provisions and all of that, and in HR and all of that, is there any reason that you would encourage anyone to go a different direction?
Oh man. I don't know if I would encourage anybody not to do it, but I will say that if you don't have like a tough skin, probably this isn't the field for you, because a lot of people are so open to criticize people's work if it's not something specific that they like, which doesn't mean that your work is bad just because someone doesn't like it. But if you don't have like a tough skin, then you probably wouldn't be able to function through this, because you have to be able to take a certain level of criticism. And I already know I'm the best, but you know, some people might not agree, but you know, I'm all right with that.
I'll second. She the girl bad. She bad. She go girl.
Yeah, you gotta have some tough skin to be able to do a lot of, you know, any entrepreneurial work. But yeah, something specifically that you create, you know, on your own, and if you can't take criticism, then it might, you know, get under your skin. But yeah, if not, go somewhere else, you know, just try something else. You ain't gonna make it if you can't take it. So yeah.
Alfreda or Brianna?
For me, I think that you have to have a heart for people. Like, if you're going to be a service-based, like I'm service-based, meaning that a lot of the work I do is I have to have people to interact with, right? And then if you're product-based, then like, you know, they product is on the shelf. You don't get to interact with that any other way. You have to definitely, like she said, you know your limitations. I say to people, there's a job for everybody, but there's not everybody for every job, right? You have to know where you fit. Like when I named my business Perfectly Suited, it was because I recognized that everybody can't do the same things. I love what she said, when Natasha said, like I said, you know, you gotta love to cook. You gotta love to, you know, be creative, you know, and sometimes when we don't want to do it, we still do it. Why? Because that's become our living. But you know, if you don't like people, don't get into people business. Don't do that. Go where the animals at. Like I tell little people, you don't like talking with people? I need you to go work with some animals. I need you to understand. Go work with a computer. Like, if you know what you don't like, then let's figure out what you do like. And that way you can make your passion your profit that way, right? You know, my pastor loves to say that your passion is your profit. What you love doing, if it wasn't even tied to money, and you would do it anyway. And that way you'll be happier, and probably you won't have to worry about, you know, some of the issues we do. But definitely, if that's the thing. You got to really tap into what you're really good at, and know how to find people and mentors like you shared to help you grow in that lane. Because you don't have to understand it all right now. This is going to take years of development to get to where you are. I wouldn't have expected to be where I am. I didn't see that when I was working other jobs. So to be here where I am, I realized that I love what I do. So now it is I do it, and sometimes I don't ask for money behind it because it's what I love doing. So definitely know where you fit.
Sure.
I would say, and forgive me because I'm trying to process my response in my head, but I would say in my industry, if you're just obsessed with the outcome and not the work that goes into it, this is probably not the career for you. Like if you just like the finished product of it, if you just like the picnic, then this is not the job because it's so much more. Setting up a picnic and breaking down the picnic is 30 minutes both ways, you know what I mean? But behind all of that is sending out invoices and having phone consultations with people and communicating back and forth and picking up food and picking up drinks and cleaning up after people. All of that goes into it. So if you just want to create a picnic, this is probably not the industry for you because that's maybe 10% of the overall work that goes into what I do.
That was so good. So we have come to the end of this segment 5, Entrepreneurship of our Little Leaders Career Exploration Series. I want to say thank you to all of you and to Natalie and Trey for joining us tonight. I'm so grateful and so appreciative for you all sharing your stories, sharing your passions with us, and just sharing knowledge to families about what it means to be an entrepreneur and someone with integrity and how to build, a successful business, all of that. I really, really, really appreciate you. Really quickly, we'll do Alfreda, Brianna, and then Natasha. And I want you to just share how people can find you on social media. If you have anything that you have going on, please share that. How can people get in contact with you on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, or wherever you are, Twitter? Share all of that. And then we'll put all your information as well on the page in the thread for this segment. All right. So go ahead and share that.
So for me, I am on Facebook under my name, Alfreda Boney. Under LinkedIn, you will find both my personal and business page, Perfectly Suited Career Consulting. Facebook has a business page as well, Perfectly Suited Career Consulting. And on Instagram, it is my name, Alfreda T. Boney. Right now, I'm just excited to start this year off with a lot of opportunities to support businesses and nonprofits. There's a nonprofit I'm working with, Suited for Success, that we're about to launch a career event to definitely help those who are in need of that training and even suitable, professional image, understanding and education so that they can start their career or start their business. And then we're going to be working with young women who have started businesses in 2020, post-COVID, in a Build Her Business program that we're launching. So I'm excited to be able to connect to just, different people within the city to get them to the next level.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, parents, if you need some help with, job skills, job training, all that, please reach out to her. She is the one. Okay. Brianna?
I am River City Picnics on all social media platforms and then rivercitypicnics.com. And right now I'm just gearing up for Valentine's Day. So my business is primarily oriented towards couples. So just getting those specials out there. So if you're interested, parents who are watching, if you want to do something nice with your significant other, please check us out. There's a few slots available.
You go, girl.
All right. My business is Glamour Gourmet across all social media platforms as well. We are a dessert company, but I am pretty booked up until March right now. So you can just find me on any social media. Just contact me and we'll set dates for later in the year. And then we'll go from there.
And she's booked because she has good business. She does good work. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Nikki.
keep that in mind. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you for sharing again. I want to shout out Dr. Carlton. I wish he could have been a part of this. Hey, Dr. Carlton. Yvonne and Anna Maria, his whole team. Alfreda's a part of that team as well. So I just want to say hi. He is a lot of the inspiration behind kind of stepping outside of the box with my organization. He is, I don't know the exact title, but he's very high up in the Jax Chamber of Commerce. He started the Jax Bridges program, and I went through the program, and then COVID hit, and he was just really instrumental in helping business leaders and even me as a nonprofit leader to step outside the box. Like, you can't keep doing the same thing because we're not in the same dispensation of time. Like, everything is different right now. So how are you still going to continue on, even in the midst of a pandemic happening? How are you going to maintain your organization? So a big shout out. That's how this segment came about. Me, going back to the drawing board and thinking like, okay, how do we continue to support children and families and all of that, even during this time when we can't meet, we can't get together. So just thank you, Dr. Carlton, for everything. I appreciate it. And I thank all of you for joining us tonight. And we'll get all your information in the comments. And with that, I got to say thank you to my co-host, Little Miss co-host. Hey, Ash, thank you so much, baby girl, for joining us. You did excellent tonight. I am so proud of you. All right. And with that, we'll say good night. And y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Everyone.